Hey everyone, John from Downtown Toyota, and finally, after waiting well over a year from when we first started hearing about her, the new 250 Series Prado. And what a change. After this car has been waited around with the previous model, we've had about I'd say an 8 to 10 year model run with the last model, and now this one is the all new and changed car. We have done a lot of work to make this the new improved Prado. Car's built on the LandCruiser 300 underneath pinning, so therefore we have that great architecture, the stability, the reliability, and more importantly, the rigidity for things that you're going to need to do with this car on-road and off-road. We're going to do a little tour today of the VX model. This is the one I have for you today. We will be showing you other models as we get them through, and when we have time, I'll have some more comprehensive videos based on these cars. But today, it's the VX we're going to show you, which is third in the series. We have our GX, our GXL, then the VX, of course our Kakadu, and a new model that's a permanent fixture instead of a limited edition as it was previously, the Prado Altitude. We'll go through all those models as we get to them. So the new VX Prado, we're running our 2.8 litre turbo diesel 4-cylinder engine with a new system, which is a 48 volt active drive system. Now what that's going to do for you is improve efficiency, reduce emissions, and makes it a much quieter car, especially when you're at standstill in traffic, at lights, in situations where you stop for a bit in traffic that's moving slowly. What will happen is our diesel engine will turn itself down and the 48V system will run everything. As soon as your foot comes off the brake or accelerates, everything comes back in. And it's not a jerky situation. It's very seamless in the way that it gives you that momentum back. So with the VX, you're going to see one thing we've done. The VX and the Kakadu both share 20-inch wheels, and these look great. We've done a nice little design. Obviously, with this car being an Eclipse Black and the black wheels, it blends really nice and looks pretty good. Around the front, we've got headlight washers, parking sensors all the way through, and of course, with this new system of the Prado, we've given us separate crash boxes. So instead of having to replace the whole bar in case of an accident, it might be just one piece of the unit that you need to change. When we come around, you'll see we have much bigger mirrors. They're a lot squared. And of course, our usual breakaway function, which is good for if someone bumps them past anything, they'll retract. They're also an auto fold, and you can adjust them inside if you get into a tight spot to do it as well. So these are all good things that we've thought about to make sure that the new Prado makes your life easier wherever you're going, wherever you're taking it. With all the Prados, we have our normal smart entry and exit system and unlock and system, which you can just do by having your hand over the handle when the key's in your pocket or in your hand, as long as you're within 15 centimetres, and it'll open up. And there's a quick look. How good does the inside of the new Prado look? It's a lot more comfortable, and we'll show you through that shortly. With our system, we have a 110 litre fuel tank now on the Prados, and also a 17.2 litre AdBlue tank. That'll be really easy to utilise. You'll have an 8,000k range, which will count down on your dash to tell you when you're getting low, so you know when it's time to refill that up. We expect with the addition of our 48V active drive system and the emissions controls that we have on the car, we should be getting somewhere around 7.6 litres per 100 overall as an average, combined. When we come to the back of the car, we have a two-stage. Prado used to have our big swing door. We don't have that anymore. We've got a raising tailgate, which is going to be better if you're standing in wet weather and things like that. But also, for ease of access, you have an opening glass hatch. So we can just launch things in there if you need to, rather than having to open the whole door if unnecessary. But should you need to, it's this easy on the models GXL, VX, Kakadu and Altitude. One push like that, up comes the door. This being the VX, we are a 7-seater. So I've got the seats folded down at the moment, but to show you just how easy they are, it's one grab there and your seat up. Simple as that. One of the things that the Prado has is this section here, which actually acts as a storage box. So you can put things in there, umbrellas, that sort of thing might be what you want to fit in there to hide them out of sight so that you've still got access to all that storage above. That's also removable should you need to take it out to give yourself a little bit more of a platform underneath. Easy up, easy touch for here to open and close the door. It's as simple as that. So here we are inside the new Prado VX, and look at the space you've got in here. Everything's a lot more centered, it's a lot easier to use, and of course, as we'd expect with our systems that we have for Toyota, foot on the brake, one push, and it starts. Now with the VX, you'll have the advantage of telescopic steering wheel, which will, under getting out of the car, will go up and away, and your seat will retract a bit to give you a little bit room to get in and out. You also have a 2-position memory function on the car, which will give you the ability to have settings for 2 drivers that will utilise your seat, steering wheel and mirrors. And they'll be on a memory, you'll hit your button, the seat will move to where you want. So for example, if I hit this button, nothing happens of course because no one set it, but if I move this back and I then press number 2, you'll see the seat is retracting back to the position I had it set for to drive in. We've gone away from a park brake system, very much like the 300, and most of our cars we now have an electric park brake system, which is really easy to use. You can do it yourself if you want, but take the car out of gear, the handbrake is released, disappears from the dash, you could hear that whir in the background, back into park, the whir happens, that's the electric brake engaging, light comes up on the dash and you're safe to take your foot off the brake. We have a driver inattention system, which is another added safety feature that we've put into this line of car. So if you happen to look out the window for more than 5 or 6 seconds, the car will beep, put an alert on the dash to say driver inattention, please look forward. It reminds you to keep your eyes focused up front. It also has some extra features that if you are looking away for too long, or if something was to happen and you were to not be able to get yourself back upright, the car will have its own systems, which I'll talk about in another video and go into greater depth on. We have our normal array of satellite navigation. In the VX you have a 3-split dash, so you can put different functions on each of the dashes for you to keep an eye on, be that tyre pressure, vertical roll, pitch of the car, that sort of thing. You have a multi-terrain select for both normal systems where we can have a comfort mode, an eco mode, normal, sport S, sport plus S, and then in the multi-terrain select we now, like we have in the 300 series, have the ability to have an auto setting for what we're traveling on, or dirt, sand, mud and deep snow. So you can tell the car what surface you're on and it will do most of the work for you. If you go into low range for when you need those really serious lock-in four-wheel drive systems, we'll lose the deep snow, but we'll have the other functions there as well, and still the auto function. So if you just want to set it and forget it to do the things that you're doing and focus more on the driving side, you're able to do that as well. Wireless phone charger, nice to have. And finally for this car, we have the ability to have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. So your phone functions can be projected up here onto the stereo screen to give you a lot of familiarity for the things you're used to with your phone. Your own maps, your own messages, all those sorts of things can be done easily through those two, depending on which format you have, be it Apple or Android phones. Wireless charger is easy to connect. We just drop the phone on top and it just starts doing. In the essence of other things, we have some extra USBs, which are the new C drive, one to charge. There's also a HDMI port. Volume control for your stereo is down here, which is nice because it's easy to get at, but you've also got access here on the steering wheel as well. And we've given you a lot of functionality here. Adaptive cruise control in the new Prado, unlike previous Prado where it would only work down to around 30 kilometers an hour, this is a fully active system. So once engaged with a distance set, a speed set, the car following in front, if it starts to slow down, so will your Prado, to the point that it'll actually come to a complete stop if necessary, if that car in front does the same thing. Then at that point, of course, as we mentioned earlier, our 48V system will kick in, which will silence the diesel, leaving you there to concentrate around things, efficiency happening, accelerate away once the object's moved and you're away again. A lot of functionality on the steering wheel. We can answer the phone, hang up the phone, you can voice activate, and with our Hey Toyota system, you can utilize that to get the car to put a navigation address in, call one of your friends, check a message, do the things that you might need to do while you're on the move. In addition to that, all of our cruise control functions are on the right-hand side of the wheel, and everything's really easy to get at. You can do it a lot just by thumb basis rather than having to search for it. You'll find that, as always with Toyota, we set it up ergonomically so that it's easy to get at without having to stare away too much or reach too far for things. Power mirrors and things are over this side adjustable. We have an automatic high beam. The headlight washer switch is over here should you need it. Now, with your radio system in the VX, we get a 14-speaker JBL sound system. Never a bad thing to have good music and be able to hear it clearly through the whole car. You can utilize your own music functions and still utilize that system. AM, FM radio, digital radio, all those are a standard feature to the new Prado range. So with the new Prado, we made access to the back even simpler. Watch this. We have an access point here to get into the back of the seat. You'll grab this lever here, pull it up, the seat goes, tumbles, and then it's just an easy egress into the system of the car. And there's our seats at the back. And here we have it, our 2.8 litre, 4-cylinder turbo diesel Prado engine. Nice and easy, couple of quick things, 500 newton meters of torque, 150 kilowatts of power. With the changes we've made to the Prado with its underneath pinnings and the way we've set the car up, we now have a 3.5 tonne towing capacity. And this engine can handle that all day long without any problem at all. And you'll see everything's neat and compact, exactly what we expect from a typical Toyota engine. So it's going to do the job you want it to do every day, all day, without any fuss. At any time, feel free, come and see us at 753 Wynnum Road, Morningside. We are more than happy to show you through every feature that the new Prado range has and show you why this car would be an absolutely classic addition to your garage, your fleet, or just something to have a bit of fun with on the beach.